Hello everyone, welcome to Yin and Restorative Yoga. My name is Michelle Chua. For this class you'll need a couple of yoga blocks or 2 pillows to be used like them, an additional pillow, a blanket, and a strap. You might not use everything, but it's just great to have these around just in case. So we're going to begin in a restorative posture to support a little bit of opening in the chest and the hips. So take your pillow and please trace it along the midline of your mat towards the rear edge of your mat. And then take your blanket, could be a beach towel, a nice firm, smooth sort of fabric works. And then fold it up so it's about this thick, I don't know, less than a foot wide. And you'll just place it on the lower end of that pillow so that you can have the back of your pelvis just slightly touching the back of the pillow. And then we'll have the legs in Supta Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. So that's where you bring the soles of your feet together. You let your knees drop open. And if you're finding that your hips feel restricted and the knees are lifting uncomfortably, you can take your other 2 pillows or blocks, make sure they're about the same thickness, and place them on the outsides of your thighs. The further away from your hips you place them, the less support, and the closer to your hips, the more support. So adjust it as you need so you can feel pretty symmetrical on both sides of your hips. And then with your pelvis remaining on the floor, start to lie back. So I made this little blanket portion as a bit of a lift in the chest so that the back edge of that folded blanket is right where the area below the shoulder blades lands, so that the shoulder heads actually roll off of that folded blanket. So you might need to adjust the thickness, the width of the blanket as you need, so that it feels like you have a little bit of lift in the chest here, and then the shoulders on the outer sides can drape along the left and right sides of the pillow. And then with your arms, you can either bend your elbows apart, sort of like the shape of a cactus, so that the backs of your forearms and hands are just on the floor. You could extend your arms overhead and then catch hold of opposite elbows, just hanging out here to help lengthen the sides of your torso. Or you could set your hands down on your belly, your chest and belly. Do what feels most comfortable for you, because we're going to start here for a few minutes, arriving in the practice. Make any loving adjustments you might need so that your body feels more at ease here. If there is some kind of bunched up area of the blanket that might feel annoying or uncomfortable, so go ahead and smoothen it out. Give your body some peace so your mind can have some peace of mind. And then when you feel comfortable, if you feel comfortable, you may like to close your eyes. And we'll start here by taking a mental scan of your body. So throughout this week, we are highlighting already the 7th of 8 limbs of yoga. And that 7th limb is the practice that brings us to meditation, a state of meditation, and it's called dhyana. And part of that is entering the here and now with a sense of non-judgmental awareness. So let's bring that non-judgmental awareness to our physical bodies. So now letting your body just lie still. In your mind's eye, pay attention to the bottom of your left foot, right at the sole of the foot. And just notice if you feel any sensation there, whether it feels warm or cold, and not necessarily through cognitive perception and trying to label things so much, more about direct experience. Really just feel into any textures. You don't have to describe the textures in your head. You're just feeling what's in your left foot. Feeling any points of contact between it and something else. Notice if the mind wants to judge or evaluate any of these sensations. Can you let that be? Just pay attention to the sensation you feel. Now entering your left ankle, up to your left calf and shin. Notice anything internal or external that you feel. To your left knee, back of the knee, sides of the knee. And slowly up your left thigh. Inner and outer thigh, hamstring, front of the thigh. Feeling into your left glute. Feel where your left thigh connects to your hip socket, bringing your attention to the left side of your pelvis. And then now bring your attention to your right foot. Start at the bottom, the sole. Notice any sensations in the toes. Now mentally scanning around your right foot. Feeling any temperature, textures. Just feeling. Paying attention to your right ankle, all around it, inside of it. And then scanning up your right calf and shin. And notice your right knee, inner knee, outer knee, back of the knee. Feeling down into your right thigh, all around and inside of that. It's almost like you're in this physical body for the first time and you're really just taking notice with a sense of caring, curiosity, even a playfulness. Feel into where your right thigh connects into your right hip socket. Notice anything you feel around your right glute, front of the right side of your pelvis. Now entering your inner gaze into your torso. Feeling into your belly, lower back, sides. Coming up to your rib cage, all around your rib cage. What do you feel there? Feel your chest. Now gazing down your left shoulder, down your left arm into the elbow. Even feeling the weight of your left forearm, wrist. Notice how your left hand feels. All the fingertips. And then even notice if your attention starts to wander somewhere else. Bring it back to now your right shoulder. Anything you feel there. Down your right arm, into your right elbow. Down into your right forearm, all around it, into your wrist. Notice your right hand, every finger, every fingertip. Just feeling the energy there. Now bring your attention to your neck, all around your neck. Feeling your jaw, your ears. Slowly feeling into the different muscles in your face. eyes, forehead. Going up to the top of your head and to the back of your skull. So with this non-judgmental awareness, practicing mindfulness, which is a basis for meditation. Paying attention on purpose with a sense of open awareness. Now, how's your breathing? Just as it is. Can you feel any movement because of your breath? No right or wrong, just again observing. So continuing that non-judgmental open awareness into the rest of this hour together. Even as we begin to move the body, let it be an experiment, each movement, each breath, something new to experience. Letting go of expectations or memories of how breath is like and just feeling it, oh, here's a new one. Can you feel that? Maybe allow your breath to deepen, perhaps even sigh out a few times to your mouth. You could even make a sound, experiment, be playful. Whew. Ah. And now if you do have props supporting the outsides of your thighs, with your hands, gently press them away so that your hands could lift your outer thighs up, allowing you to step your 2 feet onto the ground, bending your knees. And then slide your feet apart a little wider than your hips distance. Allow your knees to drop into each other so that here you offer your lower back a gentle stretch, wide across it. And then create those cactus-shaped arms again, bending your elbows apart, taking your left elbow to cross over your right elbow, coming into either a big hug where you bring your fingertips to the outer edges of your shoulder blades, or you could hook your thumbs right in front of your face, or wrap your forearms and palms into eagle arms, Garudasana. And as we're here for a few breaths, could you walk your shoulder blades further down your back ribs? Invite a little more space into the back of your neck. And then lift your forearms towards the sky so that your elbows are right about in line with your shoulders, even though they're down your center line. And can you allow a window of space across your upper back, right between your shoulder blades, breathing into that window of space? Feeling the backs of your lungs, gently press the back wall of your ribcage. Go to the very top of that breath. See if you could sip in a little bit more into your upper back. Notice if you're tensing your neck, your jaw, or your face, let that be. And then through the mouth, slow whisper out. Let your upper back soften through all of this exhalation. Go all the way out to empty. Linger there a few seconds. And then one more deep breath across your upper back, gently splaying your scapula apart. Relax at the tops of your shoulders here. Relax at the base of your neck. Sip in a little more air if you can. Linger at fullness. Top of your inhalation. And when you exhale through the lips, draw it out really slow. Let your upper back soften with the exhalation. Go to the very bottom and just linger at empty, bottom of the exhale. And then lift your elbows towards your rear wall before opening them apart. And then cross your right elbow on top of the left, either giving yourself a hug if that's what you did, or hooking your thumbs, or wrapping your forearms and palms. If the latter two versions, Tiptoe your shoulder blades down your back ribs towards your waistline. Lift your elbows towards your rear walls so that they can align with your shoulders to some degree. And then gently press your forearms towards the sky, encouraging space between your shoulder blades. And now can you visualize breathing into that space like you're slowly blowing into a balloon, inflating your back ribs? So at your own pace, linger when you think you've breathed in all the way, and maybe experiment breathing in a little bit more there. And then like you're blowing out the air from a balloon, to your lips, whisper it to empty. Linger at empty. And take another giant inhale there. You might even feel your side ribs expand. Maybe your outer armpits expand. Sip in, and when you're ready, slowly whisper it out through your mouth. Hover at the bottom of the breath, relaxing your shoulders, relaxing across your shoulder blades. And then from here, release your arms and let's roll to one side off of your pillow. Just lying on your side here for a moment. We're going to make this transition very gradual so that the transition itself has intention of open awareness. What are you feeling in this transition? Is there any part of your body that's heightening in sensation? And just very slowly, when you feel ready, press the ground with your hands and slowly lift your torso upright. Come into a comfortable seat of your choice, which could be cross-legged. It could be sitting on your calves. It could be sitting on a pillow or a blanket. And we're just going to start to rotate the spine into Sufi rolls. So as you ground to the 4 points at the bottom of your pelvis, your left and right sitting bones, the front, your pubic bone, and the back, your tailbone, lift up your spine like there's a string threading like kebab all the way down each vertebra to your tailbone. And you're pulling that string while your pelvis is sinking through those 4 points. And then once you've got that full length, let the shoulders rest down and then begin to lean to one side, maybe right or left. Circle forward, feel a little more weight at the pubic bone. Opposite side, circle back, more weight at the tailbone. And nice and slow, just again, like an experiment, each turn, each sway, each breath, something new to pay attention to. And then keep going here. I want to read an excerpt from Krishnamurti's book, Meditations. And he says, meditation is one of the greatest arts in life, perhaps the greatest. When you learn about yourself through meditation, watch yourself. Watch the way you walk, how you eat, what you say, the gossip, the hate, the jealousy. If you are aware of all that in yourself without any choice, that is part of meditation. So meditation can take place when you are sitting in a bus, or walking in the woods full of light and shadows, or listening to the singing of birds, or looking at the face of your wife, husband, child, loved one. If you haven't already, switch directions with those circles. And feel free to change it up. Maybe you want to take some figure eights where you draw one shoulder forward and then you lean back and you draw the other shoulder forward like you're listening to someone, sticking your ear out. And just play a little bit longer with these rotations. Maybe you go side to side like a tick-tock clock. And he says the soil in which the meditative mind can begin is the soil of everyday life. The strife, the pain, and the fleeting joy. It must begin there and bring order, and from there move endlessly. But if you are concerned only with making order, then that very order will bring about its own limitation, and the mind will be its prisoner. In all this movement, you must somehow begin from the other end, from the other shore, and not always be concerned with this shore or how to cross the river. You must take a plunge into the water, not knowing how to swim. And the beauty of meditation is that you never know where you are going, what the end is. So it's really embracing the unknown when you come to your meditation practice. We never know if we're going to come out feeling, oh, so rejuvenated, or, oh my God, I'm exhausted from all those thoughts. But we come in each time, take that plunge. And then from here, if you are crossing your legs, I invite you to switch the cross of the leg that's forward or on top. And now just to let your spine get a little taller again, lengthen through that string, that imaginary one at the crown of your head, and then root down through the 4 points at the bottom of your pelvis. Let's bring the attention to the shoulders. On your next inhalation, draw your shoulder heads forward, then up towards your ears. Exhale, release them back and down. Nice big shoulder rotations, a few more cycles of breath. If you want to keep exhaling through your mouth, that can feel very relaxing, very calming, especially if you've had a long day. Really deep inhalations, taking your time to fill up. How does this new breath feel? How does this new adjustment feel in your body? And now let's switch directions with the shoulders. On your next inhale, rotate your shoulder heads behind you, then up towards your ears. Exhale, collapse them forward and down. Keep going. Inhale, back and up. Exhale, forward and down. And just notice, how does this direction feel in your shoulders? For me, it feels kind of awkward. Not better or worse, just unusual. A little more for our shoulders, a little more for the heart energy center connected to the arms. So on your next inhale, ground through the 4 points at the bottom of your pelvis, sweep your arms overhead, get really tall, and then keep breathing and start to pull on imaginary rope ladder coming from the ceiling. So you're really reaching with the right fingertips while grounding the right sitting bone, and then you're really reaching with the left fingertips while grounding the left sitting bone. Maybe even make a game out of it. This imaginary ladder that goes nowhere. It's just fun to reach for. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then the next time you reach with the left arm, keep reaching. Place your right hand to the ground just beside your right hip. Roll your left outer upper arm slightly more to face forward so that you can open up across the top of your left shoulder. Now keep rooting all 4 points of your pelvis down, lifting to your crown. Exhale, begin to side bend to your right. Pausing when you breathe in, press off of those 4 points of your pelvis and then lift through that imaginary string from your crown. Exhale, keep reaching to the right as I'm mirroring you here. Now notice if your right side body feels really squished, really compressed. Can you lift out of your right waist as much as your left waist and then reach a little bit further while still relaxing your 2 shoulders away from your neck. Notice how it feels here to experiment looking up. So you're turning your head nose towards the sky. Just feeling any sensations that might come up there. And then playing with slowly turning your head, looking down towards your right arm. And for a few more breaths, maybe playing with that again, looking up towards the sky. Still reaching through your left fingertips, very energized through those fingers, and then looking down towards your right arm. Can you let your belly feel pretty strong here? So it's not just sort of relaxed, it's helping to support your lower and middle back. Let's take one more full breath in this lateral extension. Now press to your 4 points of your pelvis, come all the way up again. Land your left hand just beside your left hip. Raise your right arm, reach for that imaginary rope, and at the same time press down to your right sitting bone. Plug your right shoulder bone down into its socket and rotate the outer upper arm slightly forward. Get up a little taller through the spine, that imaginary string to your crown. Breathe in. Exhale, start to side bend to the left. Feel the weight of the 4 points at the bottom of your pelvis. Breathe in, stretch through that string from your crown. And exhale, side bend a little more if that's available. So to your own degree, just playing with what happens, what comes up with each breath. What windows might start to open for length. Can you invite some space along the left side of your torso here, the side that you're leaning into? Imagine lifting out of that side of your waist and then side bending some more. Now let's play with slowly turning your gaze up towards the sky if you're not already doing that. Just breathing there, feeling what might come up or what might not. And then slowly turning your gaze down towards your left arm. At the same time, feel the energy through your right fingertips reaching up and over to the left. Breathing in. Breathing out. Let's try that again. Slowly turn your gaze up towards the sky. Can you feel your shoulders resting away from your neck? Deep breath here. And slowly turn your gaze down towards your left arm. Feel your navel draw inward towards your spine as you take the next inhalation to slowly rise up. Inhale, raise both arms overhead. Plug the shoulders down, get a little taller, and then to your left, twist, lowering your hands wherever they land here in the twist. We're going to move in and out first. Inhale, raise your arms. Come back to center, get a little bit taller, shoulders down. Exhale to the other side, twist, look behind you, lower your hands. Inhale, lift up, back to center, get long through the sides of your torso. Exhale, twist, and look back. Deep inhale, lift up through center. Exhale, twisting at your waistline so the pelvis stays grounded. Last round, inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, rise. Exhale, twist. And then inhale, rise. And relax your hands. So now we're going to add some leverage if you would like some leverage, extending your right leg forward. Step your left foot either right in front of your left hip. Plug your left and right sitting bones. Open up your chest. You could cross your left foot outside of your right knee. Really plant the sole of your left foot on the floor. Or you could also bend your right knee. Just find where you can still feel upright, balance your pelvis, breathe comfortably. And then backstroke your left hand to the ground behind your pelvis here. Raise your right arm up. Press through every point of contact of your body with the floor and take a deep breath. Lift through that string from your crown. Shoulders relaxed, twist to your left. Now you could wrap your right arm in front of your left shin, or you could hook the elbow outside of your left thigh. Feel your spine, or visualize your spine from the bottom up, each vertebra like they're Legos that you could restack. But can you create space between each Lego? Breathing space in between each, so that the top of your head is aligned above your tailbone, even though your spine has curves. Feel your belly. Let it soften as you exhale. And then see if your rib cage might turn a little bit more as you breathe out. And perhaps you're turning your gaze behind you, past your left shoulder. Feeling the tops of your shoulders soften down and down away from your ears as the back of your skull rises and rises away from your shoulders. Now feel this next breath from the very start of it to the very top of it. Really taking your time to release it when you're ready to, so that you can pay attention to the sensation at the very bottom of it when it's completely emptied. I'm just playing with the curiosity of a young child. Let's allow for 3 more deep breaths here. Where else might you feel your breath when you inhale? At the end of this exhalation, slowly unwind your torso, straighten your legs in front of you, and just begin to shake out your legs. You can tap your calves onto the ground. You can rotate your thigh bones like windshield wipers left and right. You could just move everything if you like. Shake things up, shake off the dust, take a deep breath. Stick out your tongue, big releasing lines breath. Again, inhale deeply, tongue out, mouth wide. And let's take the second side. So keep your left leg forward. And then try to do for the same thing, set up the same way. So if you step the foot in front of the hip, you can be right here. If you crossed it outside of the knee, you could be right here, unless there's an injury or something very different on this side. You could also bend your left knee. And then really press the sole of your right foot on the ground, wherever it is. Bring your hands to the front of your right knee for a moment and plug those 4 parts of your pelvis down. Pull up through that imaginary string out of your crown. Open up your chest, roll your shoulders back and down, take a deep breath. Right hand behind your pelvis, left arm up. As you exhale, twist to your right. Either drape your left arm in front of your right shin or hook your elbow outside of that thigh. Walk your mind's eye from the base of your spine with the next inhalation up the ladder of each vertebra. all the way out through that string. And as you exhale, allow your belly to soften. Keep spinning your ribcage if that's available. And continue on experimenting through the journey of this posture for several more breaths. And by the way, how is that breath going? Feel into which way your neck would like your head to look, which way it'd like you to face. So that you invite some sort of balance on this side of the twist. What would it feel like to breathe into your right shoulder blade? How about into your left glute? Again, just open awareness, experimenting. Let's give it another 3 deep breaths. Now at the end of your exhale, gently unwind your spine, uncross your legs again. Roll out your ankles, roll out your wrists, maybe even gently roll out your head. That's not too challenging for coordination. You can go in the opposite direction. Again, inhale to your nose. Make any releasing sound like fluttering your lips out to your mouth. One more time. Inhale to your nose. All right, let's get into hips a little bit more. Come on down to hands and knees. We'll take a few rounds of cat-cow while we're here. Just spread your fingers wide. Inhale, draw your chest forward, look up. Slide your shoulder blades down and lift your tailbone. As you exhale, lift your belly into your spine, drop your head, tuck your tailbone under to round. Take several more of these cat-cows at your own pace of breath. Really feeling the lengthening as you alternate. The front of your spine lengthens as you breathe in while you're looking up. And how the back of your spine lengthens as you breathe out when you're looking down. And if your body is asking for a bit longer in one of those postures, feel free to stay for a few breaths, whether cat or cow. You might even tuck your toes in either position and notice the traction it might offer. Now on your next exhalation, relax to a neutral spine. You may want to have pillows or blocks out in front of you, in front of your hands here, so that you have more options in a moment. As we get into the hips, step your right foot forward inside of your right hand. Scoot your left knee back another 2 or more inches. And just take a moment to sway your hips gently, left and right. Sway to the left. Sway to the right. You may need some cushion under your left knee, like a folded blanket, or just folding your mat on the left side. Or maybe even sway forward so the pelvis sinks a little deeper, and then lay off of it like you're about to straighten your right leg. Swaying forward with the pelvis, and then pulling the pelvis back. Just some more organic movements to your own breath. From here, tuck your left toes. Slide your right heel towards the left edge of your mat, towards your left hip. Splay your right thigh open. And as you begin to sit down for single pigeon pose, place your hands alongside your hips, left and right, and lift your pelvis off the floor. While your left toes are tucked, scissor your right hip further back and allow your left hip to rotate more forward until both of your hip bones are evenly facing the front of your mat. Now notice if there's a gap between your right glute and the ground. It's a good indicator that you might benefit from putting some kind of prop there, like a blanket that you can adjust the size or thickness of. If you are finding that your right shin is parallel to the front edge of your mat, make sure that you stabilize your right knee. You protect it by flexing your right foot. If it's not parallel to the front edge of your mat, you don't need to flex the foot. And then relax your back toes, plant your hands in front of your shin, your right shin, and then draw your heart forward, stretch the front of your torso, look up as you breathe in, drop your shoulders, and then begin to melt your torso forward. It might take several breaths here, take your time. Feel into how sensations might change on your way down. This is where you might reach for your blocks, maybe one under each forearm, one under each hand, or you make a tower of blocks for your forehead. I'm going to watch the clock for 2 minutes here before we switch sides, so you've got some time to explore where each breath will take you in this pose in terms of depth. In the meantime, I'll read a little more from Krishnamurti. He says, what is important is not controlling thought, but understanding it. Understanding the origin, the beginning of thought, which is in yourself. That is, the brain stores up memories. You can observe this yourself. You don't have to read books about it. If it had not stored up memories, it would not be able to think at all. That memory is the result of experience, of knowledge, yours, or of the community, of the family, of the race, and so on. Thought springs from that storehouse of memory. So thought is never free. It is always old. There is no such thing as freedom of thought. Thought can never be free in itself. It can talk about freedom, but in itself, it is the result of past memories, experiences, and knowledge. Therefore, it is old. Yet one must have this accumulation of knowledge, otherwise one could not function. One could not speak to another, could not go home, and so on. Knowledge is essential. If meditation is a continuation of knowledge, is the continuation of everything that man has accumulated, then there is no freedom. There is freedom only when there is an understanding of the function of knowledge, and therefore freedom from the known. Meditation is the emptying of consciousness of its content, the known, the quote-unquote me. Take another deep breath here. And let's slowly pressing down onto your props or the ground in front of you, begin to lift your chest, lift your torso. Plant your hands in the ground so that you can start to make your way into hands and knees, all fours. Once you get to hands and knees, you may like to just rotate your right thigh at the hip for a few times and just acknowledge it. Give it some love. Imagine breathing into your right hip, all around it. Maybe even shake out the leg. Allow the blood to flow down into that hip. Deep inhale, and releasing exhale, open your mouth. Ha! Set your right knee down. Let's come back to all fours. Step your left foot forward inside of your left hand and just take a moment. Scoot your right knee another 2 inches or so back. Tuck your right toes if you want. And then sway to the right with your pelvis. Sway to the left with your pelvis. Just very gently, experimenting with any soft movement around your pelvis, around your left hip, all sides of it. If it works, you could even circle your pelvis gently. If your knee is okay with that. You might need cushion under your right knee. And then let your pelvis sink forward, a little deeper into this lunge, and then lift your pelvis back out of the lunge so that your left leg begins to straighten. And then again, a little bit forward and down. Breathing in. And breathing out. So on your own for a few more breaths, just playing with gentle movements, just giving your left hip the heads up. We're about to dive in a little deeper. Just testing the waters right now. All right, get ready for the gentle dive. Start to slide your left ankle towards your right hip so that your left knee splays open to the left. Tuck your right toes as you straighten your right leg behind you to sit. Plant your hands alongside your hips so that you can lift your pelvis for a moment and scissor your left outer hip back and your right outer hip forward until they're both evenly facing the front of your mat. And if you find that your left shin is now parallel to the front edge of your mat, please make sure to flex your left foot the entire time to stabilize the knee. Notice if your left glute needs a little cushion or folded blanket so that it's not just hanging in the air. And then relax your right toes, place your hands in front of your left shin. Inhale, lift your chest, look up, relax the shoulders down. As you exhale, begin to dive in. So you've got several breaths, a couple of minutes actually, to explore this dive in. Using any pillows and props for your hands or your forehead. Notice this inhalation here. Feel how your body responds to this exhalation. Is there any particular area of your physical body you could experiment with visualizing, breathing into? And if so, what did that feel like? Might not even be your left hip that we're sort of targeting in this pose. Might be right between your eyebrows or right behind your ears. your time for one more cycle of breath here. And no rush at the very end of that breath. Begin to crawl your hands closer to your body so that you can lift your torso slowly. Making your way back to hands and knees. Giving your left leg any kind of movement at your hip. So I'm going to invite you to slide your mat against a wall. If you have a clear wall that's just about the height of your leg's length, because we're going to bring the legs up the wall. If you don't have that, maybe you have a bed or a chair you could pull over, or you could stack a bunch of your pillows that you can place your calves on top of them, the latter, which I'll do. And I'd just like to invite even more blood flow into your hips from your legs, from your feet. So if you're at the wall, slide one hip against it so that as you turn over onto your side, you can scoot your two glutes to touch the wall and then roll onto your back, legs up the wall. And if you would like a bit more to open your hips, you could splay your bent knees apart like we did in the beginning, soles of the feet together, or you could splay your legs apart like a V. If you don't have a wall, you could do what I'm doing here, just propping up the calves, just elevating your legs higher than your hips, higher than your hearts. So whatever way that you are coming into a restorative inversion, coming upside down, make sure that there's no effort in it. So shoulder stand requires effort. Plow pose requires effort. Make sure it's where you can just let your body rest on something and not have to engage the muscles. And then once you've found that position and you've made any slight adjustments so that your two hips can feel even, two shoulders can feel even and away from your neck, your spine can feel lengthened with its natural curves, then place your hands onto your stomach and let's focus on deep abdominal breathing, where we inhale for a count of 6, then we'll hold the breath in for 1 count, we'll exhale for a count of 8, then we'll hold the breath out for 4 counts. So this is a specific pranayama for further relaxing the nervous system. You'll inhale into the belly through the nose, and you'll exhale, if you like, through your mouth. If it's more natural, you can close the mouth. Up to you. So let's empty this breath out. Hold it out for a moment. Then inhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it in 1. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 1. Exhale 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 6, 3, 2, 1. Hold 1. Exhale 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time. Inhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 1. exhale 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Let your breath just flow naturally, easily. And if you are comfortable in this position, it already feels like corpse pose to you, then just feel free not to move. But if you'd like to adjust your body differently for corpse pose, for Shavasana, then please do so mindfully. Let the way you're adjusting your body be with that feeling of open awareness, that feeling of meditation. So then arriving at your chosen resting position for Shavasana, let your eyes close and let your attention remain present to whatever comes and goes, whether they be thoughts or sensations or the breath or emotions. Keeping that attitude of non-judgment and open mind. Staying in Shavasana just a moment longer, I'd like to explain the meditation we're practicing today. As I mentioned, we'll focus on something different each day of this week as we explore dhyana, the seventh limb of yoga. So today's meditation is on sensation as the object. And it's always quite enlivening to meditate on sensation or feeling consciousness, or what Pema Chodron sometimes calls touch consciousness. I'm going to actually read a meditation written by Pema Chodron as part of our practice. If you'd like to join, if your legs are up on the wall or an object, just gently bend your knees into your chest. Softly roll over to one side and just pause there. When you've been in an inversion for a while, you really want to gradually come upright so that you don't get dizzy. Allow a few breaths, perhaps keeping your eyes closed. Keeping that attitude of open awareness, playfulness, childlike curiosity. When you feel that you're ready, pressing into the ground for support, slowly lift your body upright. Find a way to sit, whether it's on a cushion, a chair, or the ground, where you feel open to breathe comfortably, naturally, to relax, not worry about any distraction in your body, and to be present. So remember, we are training ourselves to do this with a non-judgmental attitude. Really bring as much of that spaciousness and relaxation, lightness, gentleness, kindness, and sense of delight into this as you can. So yesterday we practiced with either the palms face down on your lap or the Zen mudra of right palm face up, stacked over left palm, thumbs almost touching as the arms hover in front of you. This is helpful to keep you alert if you find that you get drowsy. You gotta keep your hands in this position, but make sure your shoulders are relaxed. Find those two qualities of an open heart and strong back as you sit tall. And so we begin. Eyes can be open, or you can be gazing inward with the eyes closed. But if they're open, steady your gaze softly on one thing, just in front of you at eye level. So first, in this sensation as object meditation, experience the sensation of your bottom touching the surface underneath it. Let that feeling, that sensation, be the object of your meditation. You don't even have to say painful or relaxed or anything at all. Just see if you can feel it. Have a direct experience of the sensation of your bottom touching the surface underneath it. Try not to think about your bottom touching the surface. Just feel the sensation, a direct experience of the sensation, non-verbal. Next, feel your hands, the sensation of your hands and whatever they're touching, maybe each other or your legs. Feel the direct felt experience at your hands and what they're touching. Remember, you don't need to narrate anything about it, just feeling. Now, can you feel anything in your arms? Can you feel a pulse in your arms or a tingling?
or any sensation at all in your arms, feel your hands and your arms. Stay very relaxed. And if you have been following after a momentum of thoughts, just kindly note them as thinking. And come back again to your breath, in and out. And come back to the feeling in your hands and your arms. What's it like feeling the energy in your body, in your hands, in your arms? Can you feel something there, some sensation inside the body? You can also direct your attention to any pain, tightness, or discomfort in the body. And if there's any pain, discomfort, or tightness, let that be the object of your meditation. Just feeling, experiencing, giving your light, but fully compassionate attention to that spot of pain, discomfort, or tightness. You could let that be the object of your meditation, not thinking about it. Just feeling the sensation of what we call pain, tightness, or discomfort. Placing your attention directly on that spot or that area and experiencing the sensation, not my pain or me in pain, but just the sensation. Now, ending this practice together, let's bring the palms to meet at your heart center, bowing in to acknowledge you showed up for yourself here today. Perhaps even a thank you to yourself and the teacher within. Ending in the word Krishnamurti, meditation is a state of mind which looks at everything with complete attention, totally, not just parts of it. Let's close with one chant of Om. Take a deep breath. Thank you for joining me. Enlighten me, bows to the light in you. Namaste.